Good evening. It's my pleasure and distinct and true honor to be sitting here speaking with the World War II combat veteran, frontline infantry, John Jeckovich. You're looking well.
Thank you.
I heard you had a beautiful breakfast.
Good.
I heard you had a beautiful Father's Day dinner.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, happy Father's Day, Mr. Jeckovich.
It's Clint and what's her name over there?
Okay. You're looking well. So you had a good day on top of it all. You had visitors. That is so nice. Today is June 15th, 2025, and we're talking with Mr. John Jeckovich about his book titled Their Mother's Sons. Mr. Jeckovich, his father, Marion Jeckovich, died at an early age, 3 different jobs. He was a legal immigrant through Ellis Island. He worked like a slave. He did everything possible to give this man and this man's family a better life. So on his 3rd job that day, he was mixing cement by hand, right?
Right.
How would they mix it? With a big...
By hand.
Yeah, would they have a big stick or something?
What?
How would
Shovel.
Shovel, okay. And his father was mixing cement on his 3rd job that day, and he died of a massive heart attack. And since then, Mr. Jeckovich cared for his mother, her name was Anna Targus Jeckovich, to her demise when she's 87, 89 years old. So that's what the book is about, titled Their Mother's Sons. Their Mother's Sons. And Mr. Jeckovich's father was a great man. He came from parts of Russia, which was a horrible old factory town, very cold, through Ellis Island, as I mentioned, and he was a legal immigrant. This man and other immigrants of the time would not take a handout. None were offered to them, but they would never take a handout, right?
No.
All right. And he worked himself as a slave, taking care of his family. He was giving back to this country. Most of the Polish and Italian immigrants, many went to Niagara Falls.
Yeah.
Made it a very productive town 100 years ago. Very productive. And those Polish and Italian immigrants are what built New York and New York City and Buffalo and Niagara Falls brick by brick by brick. They're the one that created the town. Hard workers.
Yeah.
Hard workers. So they came here to work and to make the country better as a thank you note and try to have a better life for their family. So the Polish and Italian immigrants built New York brick by brick, stone by stone, board by board. They were hard-working people. You don't have a Polish accent. How come?
Well, we speak English in the house. My father said, if you're here, you speak English. You don't speak Russian or German.
So your father had a strict rule in the house. We're Americans now. We don't speak Polish. We don't speak Russian. We speak English.
Yeah.
And that's why you don't have a Polish accent.
Yeah.
Contrary to the immigrants today, which are illegal immigrants, they come here with their hand out to work the system. To work the system. As Mr. Jeckovich and others back 100 years ago, they came to work the country, to provide, to produce. Big difference, huh?
Yeah.
Big difference. We'll get into the rest of that some other time. Mr. Jeckovich was from Company H, the 2nd Battalion of the 291st Regiment of the 75th Infantry Division of the U.S. Army during World War II. Mr. Jeckovich believes in the motto, and lives by this motto, by the way. Yesterday is history, tomorrow is a mystery, and today is a gift. Yeah. You know, we get text message upon text message upon text messages. I think the top 2 are your longevity, being 100 years old and in perfect health, reads 3 newspapers every morning, including the Wall Street Journal, New York Times, without glasses. He can shake your hand and knock you to the ground. It's so powerful. Never took a prescription, never took a vitamin. Did you smoke?
No.
Did you drink?
No.
No. Yeah. During World War II, Mr. Jeckovich was beat up, stabbed, shot in the shoulder by a sniper.
Yeah, lost a hip.
Lost a hip. Shrapnel. Still shrapnel on his body from a dirty bomb.
Frostbite in the foot.
Trench foot and frostbite. 80 years later, he's still suffering from frostbite.
Yeah.
Every time he looks down at his feet, it's causing him some pain.
Pain all the time, right?
Right.
Frostbite pain all the time.
Yeah.
Were you provided with the war equipment to fight and blah, blah,
No,
blah?
not from the beginning. It was all rear echelon stuff. But
Rear echelon are the guys that do the typing and hand out the bread and the milk and
yeah.
yeah. You were frontline infantry combat. You were frontline infantry combat. That was the coldest winter of record in Battle of the Bulge.
Yeah.
And many youngsters, teenage fighters, got frostbite. Some lost their nose and feet, fingers. We learn a lot of things from World War II. For example, if you're skiing today and you have signs of frostbite, don't run into the lodge and sit in front of the fireplace. Make a snowman and run the make a snowball and run the snowball in that frostbite area. It'll get the blood circulating again. Yeah. It'll get the blood circulating again. I don't know how many times over the last 3 years we've been reading your book. The question is, how much is your book and where can I buy it?
Can't buy it.
Mr. Jeckovich's book is not for sale, nor will ever be for sale, and you can't buy it. It's not about money, not at all. Mr. Jeckovich is fine in that department. He doesn't need any money to sell a book. He wrote this book to give the younger generation a better life, a roadmap to a wholesome life, right?
Right.
A roadmap to a wholesome life. Mr. Jeckovich covers everything from A to Z in the book. For example, how many years were you married?
69.
See? Ask this man about marriage. He's an expert. He was married for 69 long and wonderful years. In the Roman Catholic Basilica in Tonawanda, New York, he proposed to his future wife, Delphine Stulak. She accepted his hand in marriage. And then they went to the altar of the Roman Catholic Basilica, and they said a short prayer for a long and happy marriage. Was that prayer answered?
Oh yeah, 69 years.
Damn right that prayer was answered. Damn right that prayer was answered. Yeah. So any questions you might have for Mr. Jeckovich, ironically more are coming through as I talk, keep sending them through. We won't talk about longevity today. We won't do that. That's another day. We're not going to do this on Father's Day and talk about longevity. Father's Day is a beautiful day, and it was a beautiful day for Mr. Jeckovich, which we celebrate on Father's Day, our fathers, grandfathers, and the father figures in our lives. There's a lot of people that aren't biological fathers, but they're father figures in many people's lives. Though not official and not officially a Christian celebration, Father's Day is annually celebrated on the third Sunday in June and offers a time for reflection, expression of gratitude, and prayer for all our fathers. So he's always on that third Sunday of June.
20.
Bar none. So, wow, we have so much to cover. We're overwhelmed with these texts, but unfortunately his book is not for sale and never will be. But there's the original copy of his book in the World War II Museum in New Orleans, Louisiana. But it's free to listen to his book. There's approximately 600 podcasts on YouTube. It starts from chapter 1 and takes you to the end.
Yeah.
How many pages?
849.
849. And now, we already went through 849 pages. Now we're on the second time around, and we're on the 6th chapter, where Mr. Jeckovich was taking his furlough before he gets sent overseas. And on his furlough, he takes a long-ass ride on train and bus and taxi to visit his mother and sister in Niagara Falls, New York.
Yeah.
And then he takes another long-ass ride
Owensboro.
going to Owensboro, Kentucky to see a beautiful young lady that you're interested in a hand of marriage with her, Ann Mahaney, in Owensboro, Kentucky.
Yeah.
You spent a lot of time with Ann Mahaney over the several months you're in basic training. And there's an interesting side note on that story. You had good intentions, and before you're sent overseas, you were considering marriage to Ann, and then you told her you would call her back.
Yeah.
Right?
Never called her back.
Oh no, you did.
Well, last
It was 80 years later though.
Yeah.
So you kept your promise. It was 80 years later. And the ironic part of the story, when Mr. Jeckovich called Ann Mahaney in Owensboro, Kentucky, she's in her 90s now, she picked up and she answered the phone.
Yeah.
She picked up and answered the phone. You weren't a liar. You said you'd call her back, but who the hell would think almost 80 years would go by?
Yeah.
And what did she say?
Oh,
What did she say?
well, she was real feeble.
Feeble.
Yeah.
You were picturing a young girl, 19, 20,
Yeah.
with a bubbly voice, but Father Time waits for nobody.
Yeah.
Father Time will shut you down, and you're not going to be Father Time. I don't give a shit what you do. Father Time will always win.
Yeah.
Listen, boys and girls, it's a short dance around the sun. It is a short dance around the sun. Life goes by quickly, right?
Right.
Mr. Jeckovich told me in the last couple readings, and I believe every word of this, he said he blinked his eyes at 20 years old, and now he's 100. 80 years, where'd they go?
Yeah, where'd it go?
Where the hell did they go? Do you have any idea?
Huh?
Do you have any idea?
No.
I don't. I got no idea. Everyone can lie and make up a great formula where they went to, but no one will know the truth. You blinked at 20, now you're 100.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. This book is so interesting. 849 pages teaching the younger generation a roadmap, a compass to a better and easier life. And knowing you didn't use Google.
No.
You didn't use a computer.
No.
How'd you do it?
Yellow pages.
You wrote it on a yellow legal pad, right?
Yeah.
Unbelievable. Who the hell would have the determination and the stamina and the patience to write 849 pages of a book? And you have such precise details.
Yeah.
You got addresses, you got menus, you got first and last names. It's unbelievable.
Yeah.
You have a fantastic memory, Mr. Jeckovich. A fantastic memory. Wow. I got a side note here. Let's see, where is it?
Why you gonna lose that? Lose that.
I'm not going to lose it. I got a side note that was just handed to me. Let me see what it is. Let's see what it is. We're not losing nothing. There's a side note of some notes. Do I have a staff behind me?
Yeah?
I was a side note of some notes we received today. Where the hell did everything go? That side note.
I don't know, where'd they go? I'm just saying, please.
Just a minute, please. We got so many papers going on. Okay. We got a side note I want you to take a look at. Just a minute, please. I want you to take a look at, and then once you take a look at it, I want you to read out loud what you think and what your comments on it. Just a minute, please. This side note was delivered by your grandson. Actually, this is your first grandson,
Yeah,
David John Jeckovich.
yeah,
This is your first grandson, and he was born in Niagara Falls, New York.
yeah,
And there's an interesting story. When David John Jeckovich was being born at the hospital in Niagara Falls, New York, he was on one floor, and the man you worked for, Stefano Magadino, was on his other floors, upper floors.
yeah.
Tell us the story about how you worked for Stefano Magadino.
Oh, he's a nice guy. He's a nice
But
guy.
what did you do,
He's
plow?
real religious. You go to his house, there's pictures all over,
Yeah.
gospels and everything.
But tell us how you plowed for him.
I
You plowed his funeral homes.
plowed all the funeral homes, plowed his house and everything.
And then tell us, 10 o'clock some early morning, Stefano Magadino crew, suits and tie, red big aprons on, said what to you?
Yeah.
Come on in?
So I came in. I
For what,
forced me-
breakfast, right?
Yeah,
And you were having spaghetti, right?
yeah. 10 o'clock in the morning.
So you went into the funeral home, and they have a big office with about a 25 or 30-foot mahogany table, and Stefano Magadino sat at the back, head of the table, but back facing the wall, and there wasn't there like beautiful crucifixes,
All over.
pictures of Jesus,
Yeah,
Roman Catholic. So you felt kind of odd.
yeah.
You just did their plowing, and you're sitting with all these guys with bibs on and suits, and having spaghetti at 10 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
So what happened next?
Well, some guy come in and hit him with a baseball bat sitting on the front seat.
They didn't hit Stefano. Who'd they hit?
Run on the front table.
So why do you think they hit him?
I don't know. And there was something going on with them too.
Show us how. Like,
He just whacked him.
and did it kill him, or did it
He
just
knocked
not?
him off. I don't know if he was unconscious.
So that was your experience of having a 10 o'clock breakfast with spaghetti for Stefano Magadino.
Yeah.
What'd you do then?
What'd you do then? Yeah. After you seen the guy get hit.
Well, I finished my breakfast and got the hell out of there.
Did you worry that if your plow jobs didn't go good, that you might have ended up that way?
Yeah.
Yeah. But this is where the story's leading to. This paperwork I want you to look at is from your first grandchild, first grandson, David John Jeckovich. And when he was being born at the Niagara Falls Hospital, all that month Stefano Magadino was dying.
Yeah.
He was a couple floors up, and they eventually died. And what did you say about one coming and one going?
Yeah.
What did you say about that?
I said one coming and one going.
Yeah, one coming and one going. That was amazing. As his father, Stefano, was dying, his son, who I imagine was in his 50s, early 50s then, would stop by and take a peek to see how Joanne was doing, David John's mother, and to see how David John was looking. I guess they loved kids, they loved family, that wasn't a doubt. And before your grandson, David John, was released from the hospital as a newborn, Peter Magadino, which is Stefano's son, left right at the side there of the room a small toy. It was a black plastic machine gun.
Yeah.
So what a way to go.
Yeah.
Did the Magadinos have besides owning funeral homes, they do any other things?
Well, he had religious pictures all
But
over.
what did they have, any other type of businesses or just funeral homes?
Just a funeral home.
Just a funeral homes?
Yeah.
They weren't in anything corrupt?
Well, I think he hooked up with the mafia in New York
Yeah.
City. Yeah, he was
Yeah.
hooked up. He had to be hooked up.
Yeah. But it's an interesting fact, right down the road where you sent your children to school was Our Lady of the Rosary Church and School. the head man there was Monsignor Stanley Ormsby.
Yeah.
And tell us about what his mansion looked like.
It had a big mansion on the same street. Had a cook, secretary, and a
Driver.
maintenance guy, and a chauffeur driving around.
And right next door to the mansion, there was a shabby house. What was this house about?
That was where the nuns slept.
Yeah, and how did it look when you went inside to bring
I
in
could
goods?
open the door, I could smell the cellar.
And you and your,
Mildew and moldy.
and weren't they the happiest ladies in the
Yeah,
world?
they were all somehow they were happy.
Yeah, and there was like 10 of them in the house.
Yeah, yeah.
And you
They're all young too.
very young, and you and your wife would bring them goodies for holidays.
Oh,
right?
for holidays, yeah.
And also, between the mansion of Monsignor Ormsby and the shabby, rundown house where 10 nuns lived, which they were the happiest people in the world, was a garage. And what was in this garage?
His big car.
Yeah, there was always, each year, a brand new Lincoln and a brand new Cadillac,
Yeah,
all courtesy of Stefano Magadino.
yeah.
So you had a very colorful life. So it was a kind of a roundabout way to get to these papers your grandson gave you. So I'm going to personally hand them to you, and I'm going to let you go through them, read what you want, and I'll go through it after you're done. Take your time.
This gives me the ancestors of John Jeckovich. 87% are from Central and Eastern Europe, 9% are from the Balkans, 2% are from Russia, and 2% from Germanic Europe.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
Go to page by page. Let's hear your comments.
Mary Jeckovich and Mary Ann Targus.
How's the date of the year of your father's death? Does that coincide what you said?
Yeah, yeah,
That would make your father younger than 43.
yeah, yeah.
39.
38. He was born in 1900.
Keep going. Comment on anything you see there. How about the spelling of your last name?
The what?
If you get to the spelling of your last name, I want to hear your comments. Take your time. There's no hurry. This is important.
7 minutes.
How many?
7.
Mary's 1923.
And you were born in 25.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's it saying now?
They got my New York State marriage license and number right
No
there.
kidding.
Yeah.
So- 69 long years you're married, Mr. Jeckovich. 69 long and wonderful years. You're a great example to all.
Mary Jeckovich, 1800 to what the hell is that? 1938. John Jeckovich, 1925 dash.
Yeah.
I'm still alive.
Yeah, he's
Your
still
dad,
alive.
Mr. Jeckovich was
That's
born.
not filled in for
Hey,
a long, long time.
Mr. Jeckovich was born in 1925,
Yeah.
and here we are in 2025, and he's knocking on that door of 100.
Keep that dash blank right there.
Yeah. You're still alive. Hell yeah, you're still alive. I don't know anyone that's 100. If I did, I'd be amazed, but
I don't know.
you're in damn good shape. You're in damn good shape.
What was that?
You.
Get down to the spelling of your last name when you see it.
The next page, I think.
Niagara Falls, New York.
Wasn't that a beautiful town or city when you lived there?
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Wasn't that absolutely gorgeous?
Now look at this. I can't read this stuff here.
All right.
It says,
Would you like to pass it my way?
Yeah,
Yeah.
wait, let me
Pass
see.
it my way. Let me see what we got here. But tell us just briefly how beautiful Niagara Falls was.
Look at this.
Well, let him stand back. Let me read it. Well, you want to read the back pages?
Uh-huh.
there.
Did you want me to critique?
Yeah.
Tell us briefly how beautiful Niagara Falls was when you were a boy. How
Well,
beautiful was the city of Niagara Falls?
oh yeah, it was a beautiful city, beautiful city.
5 minutes.
Anna Targus, they're going by her official first name was Maria Anna Targus. Does that sound right to you?
Yeah, yeah.
I didn't know that. 1899 to 1987. And you were with her from 11 years old to her death in 1987. Tell us the interesting story when your mother was still alive, when she visited your father's gravesite. Her name was on the gravestone.
Well, she put a tape over her name.
She put a tape, not over her name, but over a year.
Yeah, yeah.
She put a tape over the year. John Jeckovich, 1925. Maria Ann Targus. How would Maria be, though, a Polish name when that's an Italian? Let's see what else we got here. Okay. Jerkovich. Jeckovich.
Yeah.
And how did that get changed?
Well, that was it. Y, J, they changed the J, Y to a J.
Who did that?
Uncle Stevie.
Okay. And now here, we got so many different spellings of Marion. Most of it is M-A-R-Y-A-N.
Yeah.
But on this census of 1930, it's showing your father's name is spelled M-A-R-I-O-N.
Oh, that's English. Yeah.
Head of the household.
Yeah.
And then it's showing Anna, wife. And then it said Stephen, that's your brother, right?
Yeah.
Son. And then it's showing John, that's you.
And then Looky.
And then Lewis, that you call Looky.
And then Sally.
Sally wasn't born yet on
No.
this 30 census. And it's also showing someone lived in that house called Wozniak back then. Wozniak.
Horrors lived upstairs.
Yeah. So this is very interesting. Let me see. Yeah, this is a 30th census. Wow. Wow. Wow, this is all on Orleans Avenue. The population schedule. This is interesting. Let's see what else we got here. Oh, okay. Could you pass this to Mr. Jeckovich, please, and tell me how much minutes we have left?
2 minutes.
Pass this to Mr. John J. Jeckovich and see if we let him discover who do you see you know is in there. Tell us who you know.
I seen Sally.
That's your sister.
Yeah.
That's Sally.
Well, she must have been 17 years old.
Yeah, so she married Charles Downey.
Yeah.
Charles Downey was born in 1919, and he died over a few decades ago. And your sister was born in 1930, just after the census,
Yeah.
and she died about 14 years ago. So between your brother Steve, your brother Looky, and your sister Sally, they're all gone.
Yeah. Sally looks different. Sally, well, she must have been 17 years old here.
Probably 16.
Huh?
That's how I remember her looking.
Yeah.
That's how I remember her looking. And then she had 3 children, a boy named Charles,
Yeah.
and then a daughter named Susan, and then another daughter named Marion.
Marion?
Yeah, it was her daughter. Remember you took them camping? Marion Downey, and her friend needed a toothache problem?
Yeah.
Remember that, the toothache problem?
Oh, yeah. And then
Tell us what happened.
she said, they're not my parents.
So you took Marion camping with her friend.
Yeah.
You were at Bowman Lake, and then the kid's bitching that her tooth is hurting. You took her to a dentist, and then what happened?
She said, they're not my parents.
And then what did the dentist say?
The dentist stopped right there.
He would say, you're done.
20
Yeah.
seconds.
That was an interesting story.
Yeah.
Were you happy with these
Oh, yeah, yeah,
documents?
yeah,
It's a beautiful document. History's always being told, isn't it?
yeah.
Wow. That was a beautiful house she lived in.
We'll pick this up tomorrow.
I'm throwing on the examiner.
Yeah, no